What is up? I'm Nate. That's wiring. This is 113 Racing. All right, since I'm down to one arm, I've just been doing light duty stuff. So what I have done here is written a list of everything that I want, ideally, on the engine and a wish list of future things. And then I've just started allocating wires to them. So it's pretty basic. A lot of them are already, preset, like knock input and air temp sensor. They're already bundled up, ready to go. So I just run them to where they need to go. And then you've got just a bunch of generic analog 5-volt inputs, which I've started allocating to different sensors. So down here, I've got my oil pressure sensor, and it's just a dumb sensor, single wire one. So it either tells you there is or is not oil pressure. So I need to upgrade that sensor to a 2-wire, which is a variable range sensor. I've thrown in a third because I'm going to get a combined oil pressure, oil temperature sensor. There is oil temperature on this car somewhere. I don't know where it takes it from. But yeah, if I've got to upgrade the sensor anyway, I may as well upgrade it to a combined one. Keep my wiring simpler. I need to add a 5-volt input to this, which is the orange wire up here. But I also need to add a 5-volt wire to my coolant sensor. My coolant sensor is a 2-wire sensor. It is a variable range one, but I'm also going to add coolant pressure into it as well. So it'll need a 5-volt power as well, which means I need to split this wire or find another one. Reason I'm adding coolant pressure is because when you blow a head gasket, you put combustion pressure into your cooling system. So having coolant pressure, as soon as it gets out of range, it's like an early warning system that your head gasket is going, and you can pull up before you start melting pistons. So that's why I'm adding that. However, those sensors are very expensive, so I might just leave the wires there and add them in later. I've run a set of wires over the back to the oil level sensor. I don't really need it, but it could be nice if I have a leak. I'm going to leave a spare few of these floating around in here just for anything added later, which I don't think there will be anything because it's a basic engine and there's not much I can do to it. And then this is all getting the chop. These are all like signal pulsed outputs and things for like running, or digital outputs, sorry, for running like fans and things that I don't have. Actually, this one here is the map sensor, which I'm going to use the internal one. I was going to leave it here in case I did want to run a aftermarket one, but I just noticed it's got a 5-volt output wire, so I might just steal that for over there, and then I can run that one over there, and I don't need to bridge it. Fuck, sometimes it's just so hard being this smart. All right, I don't know how much neater it looks, but this is basically the idea of what I'm going for here. So I've just sort of taped it in bundles. So I've got a bit of tape before and after the junction. That's all my coolant stuff, which runs to that sensor right there. Then the main loom comes up here, and then same thing, I've got a piece of tape before and after, and I've pulled my cam, crank, and injector sensors off of here. So that one goes right there, crank goes down the bottom, and those three will go over to here. Then same thing, I've got another sensor pulled out of here, which is actually this is my fuel level. That needs to go all the way back through. These ones here are pulled out to my injectors, that goes to there. Then I've got another junction here, which is all of my throttle body stuff. I've got my spare coming out of here. I'll just probably, I don't know, bundle up under the intake. And then all my oil stuff runs down the front here until I've got another junction just here, which is where they split off. Sorry, down here. They split off and go to the pressure temp, and then that one runs underneath the engine, which is where the factory one goes to the oil level. All right, I'm a couple of steps into this here and pulled through all the wires that I don't need. I've chopped them. I don't know what to do, whether I try and de-pin them, whether I just put a bit of heat shrink over the end and just heat shrink them so they don't bridge out or anything. I'm not 100% sure. Up here, where all the common earths and power wires were, I did with them. I just chopped them off and then put some heat shrink over the end and heat shrunk them. Unfortunately, this is a fraction short. I don't know what this piece is for. Whether it's supposed to go over the boot or what. But it doesn't quite cover that and the junction up here, so I'm just gonna have to take that piece off and I'll put a longer piece on. I don't have enough of this to reach all the way, so I'll just put a bit of heat shrink between here and here. I've got my first junction done, so this is all my coolant stuff. Got a little piece of this worm stuff on it and a bit of heat shrink on the end. All right, I got that sorted, and I'm really glad this doesn't look like a huge veiny cock, because that'd be embarrassing. Yeah, so anyway, I decided to leave in one of these digital pulse wires for a speed sensor. I'm going to run it down to the factory Peugeot wheel speed sensor and just see if I can get a speed signal out of that. But anyway, yeah, so we've got it sort of a bit neater now. I'll throw you up on a tripod and you can watch me sort of do the next little bit.
Yeah, came through flexing cause they know I got the sauce. Got the presence on me, I can't ever take it off. That's why I came country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Yeah, they can't get like me, rocking boots and white tee. Designer on my cuff link, something like a Moby. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Artist out the ranch, I just told you that I'm about it. I might take offense if you tell me that you doubt it. That's just what it is, yeah, I'm known to make it rowdy. Then I'm for the fit, and I drive a wide body. Who you know, rolling like this, nobody. Can't go slow, I gotta hit that body. I'm the top, for the top, I can't never take a break. Yeah, I'm hot, and you not, that's why all my records bang.
All right, so unless you had your eyes closed, you just watch me strip the wiring loom out of the engine bay and getting ready to throw this fella back in just to try and make it a bit less confusing for me. I went over and back a few different times on what to do with these wires that I don't need. If I was to de-pin the loom, I really need these sort of pin blanks, because once you take the pin out, you end up with like an open hole into the ECU, and just humidity in the air and stuff can get in and out of there, and I kind of didn't want that. And I don't have any of these pin blanks, so I decided to leave the pins in. And I just put a bit of heat shrink on the end just so they can't like bridge out on each other and cause any dramas. That way, if I need the wire, it's still there. I can just put a crimp on here and run a new wire through, or I can, you know, de-pin it and repin it then. Yes, moisture could get in the end of here and rust, but this wire is really high quality stuff. So even if it does start to rust out in here, you'll only get rust in about the top 10, 15, 20 mil over 10 years. So I left enough on there that the rust isn't going to go all the way back through to the pin and screw the plug or anything like that. And I'm going to just tuck these up inside here once I know that I don't need them, and you'll never know they're there, or I might de-pin them later on, but for the time being, that will do me. I also looked at the WB1, the wideband sensor, and I don't know why Haltech decided to go this way. This is probably one of the dumbest designs from a wiring neatness perspective I've ever seen. So I need to mount the wideband sensor somewhere. For some reason, instead of having a nice plug on here, they decided to have a pigtail just like sandwiched out of the back of it that then plugs into the actual sensor itself, which has another plug in it further down. So, I mean, I can live with that. But then to plug it into the ECU itself, you've got like a patch cable that goes from there to the ECU. It doesn't go all the way to the ECU. It goes to this cable, which has these two wires hanging out, which are a positive and a negative, which goes into the CAN port, which the CAN port's already a 4-wire, but those two wires aren't good enough to run these, so they're patched off there, or, you know, capped off there, and I need to run, you know, these wires to power and ground. So I was tucking this one down this loom here to come out of here, but it doesn't go into this plug. It goes into this plug, into these black wires here, which is my earth. So I need to get it into this one somehow. And then this one also doesn't go down here into this plug. It goes over here in this one to the injector fuses. So, like, I've got to have these two random wires running up under the dash, which, like, I've already got this one and this one and this one and this one, and now I've got this one and this one both going to different places. It, you know, and I can't shorten this, even though this is going to be mounted right next to the ECU. I'm going to have all this. So anyway, I can deal with that. All right, harness is back in the car. Now, the astute of you will realize that it's a little bit different than what I had on the bench. Reason for that, when you route your harness, make sure you don't change your mind halfway through. Same thing as Project Creep. stick with your original plan. But anyway, I moved it from where it was going to run to where it's running now. And I actually, in my worry of making it too short, I made it too long. So I actually had to cut back a bit of this so I could get my crank trigger out of it early. I wasn't too worried about it being long because I figured I could just sort of run the leads like in a loop to get to the sensor, but it was trying to pull the wires out of the harness at like a weird angle like that there, and I just know that that wire has got a really sharp bend in it, and just with the motor moving over time, it's going to break. So I pulled the wires out a little bit sooner so they could sort of flow in the direction. So like this one here is unfortunately sort of going to have to come out kind of like that, which is a bit sharp, but anyway. And this one here runs down to my wheel speed sensor, so I don't know where I'm going to run him yet. I have basically ran what I could. That there obviously goes to a sensor that doesn't exist yet because it's a 2-wire. I need a 3-wire or a 4-wire. That's all of my coils. Now I'm going to have to make a sub harness for that. I also cut my VVT wires too short, so I will include them in the sub harness up the top there. So I'm going to need to buy a bunch of connectors and stuff for that. Fuel pressure regulator, I don't know where I'm putting that yet, so I've left that one. This is my injectors. Injectors, I'm just going to sort of branch off. Obviously, there's 5 wires here for the injectors, so 1 for each injector and then 1 common power wire. So I've got I need to get some little crimps, little tee-off crimps onto there so that I can run 1 wire to each one. Again, I could make a sub harness for the same as the coils, but I don't want to. And I've got the wires, so TPS, air intake temp, which I don't have yet. I've just run that to the bottom of the throttle body where I think it's going to go. So hopefully it's going to go there. The knock wires are there. Oh, that sort of did that when I heat shrunk it. Whatever. And then all of my oil runs down the front here. So again, I don't have the plug for this because I need the combined temperature pressure plug. And then that one runs underneath the engine to the level sensor, which is the factory one. Actually, I could probably tape that. Now, I haven't done a heck of a lot of research on each of the individual sensors, and I really don't want to work out what's polarized and what's not. So I'm just going to leave myself like extra long tails from the heat shrink, and I'll put the pins out here, which will give me plenty of room. That way, if they're reverse polarity, I can de-pin and swap them over and re-pin. I've got plenty of room there, and then I'll just simply tape these ends. It also gives me an opportunity to, if I miss a crimp, I can cut a little bit off. This one here is probably a little bit too short, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much why I have done this. In case you were wondering, you probably weren't. Due to lack of preparation and forethought, I am very not ahead on where I was last time I filmed. And why the fuck is that helicopter flying around in circles? Don't they know I'm trying to film in here? Fuck off. It's probably the cops looking for someone again.